Hello folks, and welcome to another wonderful round with ACM. It's gonna be a great time had by all to finish out the last 49 minutes of this 12-hour endurance event. We've been racing around Nordschleife since the wee hours of this morning. If you are located in the United States, if you're located in Europe, you've been racing since last night as well, basically into the wee hours of this morning. Going through the wicked hours of the night stint and into the morning has to be a grueling challenge. 11 pit stops for some of the lead cars on this stint right now, finishing up 11, 12, 13 stints, I could only imagine. Lap 79 underway, but it's all been up to the 847. The 847 has led in the FV-Des setups machinery Lexus. Gotta love to see that. The number on the 79th lap, the 847, piloted currently by Ivanek. Representing well, leading by a margin of 96 seconds to Enrique Machado, the driver of the number 9, the pilot there. Pepe 69, Team Justice in YouTube, in the Twitch chat, actually. Number 24, let's go, guys. Cheers for the number 24. That'll be Quentin Mueller, who's running the number 24 current pilot there for the JCE, and yellow flags are flying for the number 66. This could be an opportunity for the number 24 to work their way forward. A 38-second gap is coming down steadily as the wounded wing BMW limps its way around. Where is Quentin Mueller now? We're coming through Flugplatz, currently on board the BMW. Now, where is Quentin Mueller? That will be at Hatzenbach. So what a ways off. Pepe, Team Justice, let your team know what you just saw transpire as that number 66 piloted machinery just spun around on lap 79. Those will be the 4 lead cars on lap 79 currently. Everybody else down at least one from there. Felix Zimmerman, I believe that is an ORL driver. Yes, OLR driver, excuse me. Number 39 piloted there in 5th place. Pretty secure from that point of view for Felix Zimmerman, the OLR driver, number 39. Resting their head in 5th place. Has a big gap, 170 seconds forward, 274 back. Here is Ilyana Ivanek. They're still squabbling with this Ferrari. They can't seem to get it right up. A little bit of damage to the rear wing of the 847, showing us that the drivers haven't had the cleanest of races this time out, but they are doing the best they can, and right now, the best is leading. Beautiful livery there. For those of you watching the 24 Hours of Daytona as well, hosted on iRacing, that is live currently, with Drago Racing currently leading the GTP category, C's Esport in the LMP2, and Williams F1 Gaming Team in the GTD category. That will be the split 1 results currently, with 15 hours and 43 minutes left to go, but 45 minutes left on the clock for this event, and we're still going through the standings here and now. We have a slow-moving Lexus in the background, the 863. We did get an update in chat earlier. I did see that. Let's see if we can pull that up. They were talking about a car, the Team Edge Racing, currently running in P23. This was about 2 hours ago. Looks like being in a final battle for P21 and P22. So we will check in with Lexi's team. Fastest lap of the event down into the 811s, 811.275. Looks like Ivanek is the driver to pull that one out. Pepe Team Justice asked, my network disconnected. Did I say something? I did say something, brother. Gotta let your teammate know that catching up to the number 66 is possible. Quentin Mueller, the number 24 piloted machinery, has a chance to catch up as this wounded Vides portal machine tries to make it around. 36 seconds is your current gap, Pepe. But it's coming down slowly but surely as the number 24 is wounded and driving around right now as we come through Flamsgarden. And coming towards the small carousel, will we see the 66 take to pit lane to repair their vehicle? Will it be a position gain for that number 24 machinery? This is the podium battle right now, coming out of turn number 52. And down the Dotting Hero straight. Arthur Petrosian and Artemi Sevkin piloting this machine with Tkenchko. I apologize for my name pronunciation. I'm trying my best. But Quentin Mueller actually as the pilot with Justin Fringe in the number 4th position right now. And this has to be a pit stop for the 66 as it's driving so slowly it's about to get lapped by Alexis. No pit stop call there, so it'll have to be done on pace alone to make it to the end. Actually is the 3rd place car getting lapped now by the number 1 Lexus. That's 7th place Jan Wacker, the pilot there, and the Butter Dogs team able to unlap themselves out of 7th position. What a cute doggo on the side of the vehicle there. Coming up, the Michael Schumacher S's. The Butter Dogs lose touch with the number 66. Pit stop calls for the number 40 and the 863. Should be their last of the evening. "65-minute stint timer for this event is in effect, so expect the rest of the grid to still have to make pit stops here. At least they're in the top 5. Let me look at predictions one more time. Only drivers that won't need to make pit stops to get to the end would be Jan Wacker and Danielle Cataldo. Potentially making it to the end on their current stints. At least Jan Wacker will, sitting very pretty right now. Is that 1 lap down, but can still make up a couple of positions here as we see the 369 go yellow flag. That'll be the 8th position for Ferrari, going slowly on track. They're about 13 minutes into that stint, and that is a wounded bird. That fast Fiat no longer will be going fast, unfortunately. It is going to be 2 laps down currently, and we have 190 seconds to Cookie Roland, pilot of the number 85, currently running in 9th position. And the yielding 369 could be a position for Cookie Roland as the HYVE Virtual Motorsports team will probably come down pit road. They're down 1 position from where they started this race out in P7, but Jan Wacker, huge gains tonight for that team, the number 1. 9 positions gained on the evening since we started this event. Felix Zimmerman and the number 39 team up 10 positions tonight. Zhao Ray is up 3, started in 5th, now sitting in 2nd position going into the final stint of this race. But the leader started this race in P1, is finishing the race in P1 as it sits. 37 minutes left on the clock. Yellow flag for the 993 who teleports back to pit lane. That'll be the battle for 24th and 23rd. Now we have to find the Team Edge Racing team. I believe this is them. Srinjay Das, the Indian pilot for Edge Racing. Number 94 currently running in 22nd position. This is where they started that race 12 hours ago-ish. And we have the HYVE team up ahead of them going slowly on track. This will be that wounded Ferrari. Coming through the final couple of corners before we get to the Dottingham straight. And are both the HYVE Virtual Motorsports cars in for a world of trouble right now, as the 369 had a yellow flag pop up for just a second. Over to Yannick Kuppers in the 512 for the Yander Racing team. 512 running in 19th position behind Bennett Dersch. 297 seconds back. 250 seconds away is the opponent of the 296 behind. That Mustang, nothing to do with this battle. Closest battle on track will be 29 seconds between 9th and 10th position. 9th and 10th position. Cookie Roland and Jan Straka. Lexi says, so unfortunately for us, our driver forgot to pit for the last stint reset and had to return to garage, so we're out of the race for now. P21 unless P21 has returned to garage. Ah, gosh darn it, Lexi, that is a huge disappointment for your guys' race. I knew you were looking forward to running well and running forward a few positions charging up the field, but that's not going to go your way, unfortunately, this time around. But anything can and will happen in endurance racing, and it typically will. 34 minutes remaining on the clock. So we still have an opportunity, and the most important thing about any endurance event, making it to the checkered flag. As those are running the 24 hours of Daytona currently, and those are in preparation for the Daytona 24 hours this weekend in real life. The drivers all here know what it takes to prepare for an event like this, and they know what it takes to finish an event like this. So hats off and kudos to all those that have stuck it out and have challenged forward despite what circumstances may have unfolded in front of them. The Mustang trying to wiggle its way past the Ferrari. Ferrari holds to the left-hand side. The Mustang dips out of the slipstream and pulls its weight down the Dottingham straight. Should be the 85 of Kooky Roland. And Lexi, this is Sagar Bakshi, aka The Real High, on YouTube or Twitch, and I am a new broadcaster for ACM, so thank you very much for having me. Really appreciate the work and really appreciate being part of such an established organization for all of your sim racing needs on the Assetto Corsa Competizione platform. Make sure you check out ACM. This event is just the inaugural event of the NLS Endurance Championship. Kooky Roland does lose out a position to Jan Straka as they came down pit road. That'll be their last stop of the evening. Resetting that stint timer. What is going on with the HYVE team A? Asks Downwind Nacho. Well, let's check out what's happening with that team. The HYVE Virtual Motorsports team, the number 369, has been running fairly well up until this point into 8th position. So far, their positions gained on the evening is down 1. They started off in 7th. They're right now running in 8th position. Their pit stop strategy. They've just taken a pit stop, they've reset their stint timer, and they're good to go to the very end. A couple of drivers in front of them do have to make pit stops to reset their stint timer. Danielle Cadallo will have to make a pit stop. Felix Zimmerman will have to make a pit stop as well. So potential gains for the HYVE Virtual Motorsports team. Battle on track for a 10th and 11th position as Kooky Roland 1.8 away from Microsoft Dabaz up ahead in the number 40 machinery. So we've answered the HYVE Team A question. Scrolling through chat, Lexi Honey says, as a completely new and random team, we have done really well. We have gained strong positions on the start, but came across the classic. We forgot to fuel our car issues, which lost us 7 to 9 positions. I took over my stint, and I found I was too slow. I switched out as the race engineer for the rest of the race. This was following by technical problems followed by technical problems halfway through the race, where my other drivers drove really well in the second half, and we have really strong race pace. That's great to hear, Lexi. Thank you very much for that race recap of what has happened to the Edge team. Now, Cookie Roland on the fresh rubbers, chasing down Microslaw DeBaz. Looking at last lap times and fast lap times, Cookie Roland does have the fastest lap of the pair of them. Downwind Boy says, "That's my boys." Bristow 369 says Hive is pronounced like Beehive. They're 24/7 racing center in the US, running 2 teams performing in-person driver swaps. What? No way. That is so cool. I love 24/7 sim centers. I love sim centers in general. They provide great community involvement. It's absolutely amazing. I partner with a community called World of Racing that competes on Assetto Corsa original vanilla with full motion simulators, and it's an amazing league. I cannot wait to work with them more. Super cool venue. Racing sim centers coming to the United States are absolutely phenomenal. The virtual motorsports team, the Hive virtual motorsports team, performing in real life driver swaps. That is super cool. Lexi Honey with another update says, we went from P16 to P27 to P21. Now we just gained another position. Did someone box or retire? Yes, Igor Kutniak pit. So you did gain a position there. No, he's been in the pits. Shunjay Das resets back to P22, comes down the road, and that'll settle things for now for the Edge Racing Machinery. Last lap, 8:57.580. Obviously incurring some sort of incident on the racetrack. I believe they had already reset their stint timer. Yes, they're 18 minutes into that stint anyways. Potentially made it to the end, but repair was on. New boots got put on that vehicle as well. The jacks are off. Hazards come off. And the 94 is rolling out of pit lane. Little off-track moment for the 155 Ford Mustang. Giving us a little bit of a scare. We do have to see a couple of other drivers on track come down pit road, so expect the order to get reset a little bit. Nothing is set in stone, although we don't see very many battles on track currently. We will see them brew up here shortly. Next, Chivo asks, how is the 963 done today? Well, let's look at the 963. That'll be the Hive VM Team B. So the Hive Team 2, or the Hive Virtual Motorsports team, is in P21 right now. They're down 10 positions on the grid for the evening. Unfortunately, they started in P10. They're now running in P21. Current stint timer at 35 minutes and 14 pit stops later. So a couple more than they needed to finish out this race, showing me that they were involved in a few incidents for Hive Team B, the 963. They do have 36 minutes on that pit stop timer, so I expect they will be doing their in real life driver swap right now. Jan Straka trying to get by, or excuse me, does get by the Hive Team A team. The Lexus really stretching its legs in a straight line, but the Virtual Motorsports organization probably not done with this conversation yet. Can see that Bumblebee from a mile away, the Vinzavi Motorsports organization. Now, do we need to see pit stops for any of these cars? No, this will be a battle on track, taking us to the checkered flag, I can only presume. Unless the pace is there from Jan Straka to just walk away with it. It was there on that previous lap, 8:19 compared to an 8:23 from the Hive A organization. So this gap might dissipate before our very eyes over the course of the race. We'll have to check that out and keep an eye on it. Pepe Team Justice asks in chat, how much time between the 24 and the 66? There's 92 seconds right now between Justin French and Dmitro Tkachenko in the number 66. So quite a bit of time, but that is a very wounded number 66. I believe they haven't repaired their damage yet. So yes, they have not repaired their damage. And I believe they have to make a pit stop to make it to the end. Yes, Dmitro Tkachenko will come down pit road on this lap, has to come down pit road on this lap, or he will be faced with a penalty. Justin French should get this position in the pit row. Yes, exactly. So especially with his damage that needs to get repaired, it could be P3 for the JCE team. Thank you very much to all the drivers in participation of this event this evening. You guys have put on an amazing show. 25 teams have showed up. That means that there are over 50 drivers participating in this event tonight. I believe this was a 2-man to 6-man event for this organization. So drivers stacking their grid as much as possible. Lexi says we started with a grid of 34 drivers actually, so losing out 10 unfortunately. But man, oh man, what an event so far with still 20 minutes left to go. Coming through Rebel Tree is Justin French. And it should be that pit stop coming up shortly for Dmitro. Traffic giveth, traffic taketh away. Dimitro's been in this pack battle for quite some time, but has to come down pit road this time. The stint timer is about to run out. They're running it very long. Coming through Esbach currently. Dmitro Takachenko needs to wrap this one up. 56 minutes on the stint timer coming out of YouTube. Yeah, 10 minutes left, 9 minutes left on that stint timer. This driver has to come down pit road now. Cannot wait any longer. Jan Wacker gets by Danielle Catalo. P6 and P7 very close on track to each other. Now, Takachenko has to take this opportunity to come down pit road. And he does. So Justin French should get by. As we get into the final closing 15 minutes of the event, folks, let's talk a little bit about the Nordschleife track and what it has to offer. This is a very, very long track. This is a 15.4 mile or 25.4 kilometers. I still don't know what a kilometer is. Founded in 1927. GP circuit was added in 1984. It's been the current layout since 2003, though. We're located in Nuremberg, Germany. We have 87 corners, 47 to the right, 45 to the left, and 1,000 feet of elevation change. The track cost $14.1 million Reichsmarks to build, about 40 million in today's money. Now compare that to Vegas, which cost at least 1.06 billion. Catching up on the Twitch chat very quickly. Seeing ACM Racing here saying one of our fastest drivers last year was on controller. It's not impossible. It just takes a bit of time. That's very true. Lexi is talking about other tracks, not so much about a week of regular daily practice, since the track is 5 to 6 times longer. It took me, because the track is so long, it takes weeks to learn the track. XCL TV says 1 mile is 1.852 kilometers. Thank you so much. I'll never remember that. Zero Tracks talking about playing Rocket League. Rocket League is a fun car game as well. SS Nightster says, shout out to the Hive Team A, position 9 all the way to the end. I did the first 2 hours of the race for them, and man, that was 2 a.m. for us. We love these endurance races, but it's a little later in the day for US teams. Agreed with that, Nightster. I also woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning to fire up my PC to get logged into the server to make sure that nobody would lag when I started the broadcast. Ooh, a little bit of an off for Cataldo there. But yeah, fired up my computer first thing in the morning, crawled back into bed, left my PC running all day long with ACC TV running, and then came onto the broadcast. That way I would have race data for us to talk about. That way I wasn't just showing up to a race and like, well, this guy's in the lead, I guess. I'm like, no, I know where people have been in this race so far. I have the data to back it up. So if anybody needs a race update on a car, just give me a shout out. I'll do the best I can with the data I have in front of me. We do have the technology. But nonetheless, it's great to see an action-packed grid in Assetto Corsa Competizione. It's been a while since I've seen a 12 to 24-hour endurance event, and it looks like ACM is doing it right, hosting it well. Saw penalties handed out throughout the morning as well from the live stewards, presumably for incident results. And there is a close contact with the 991 as Jan Kovarik gets on throttle in that Ferrari and nearly takes out the Porsche. Has to get off throttle coming out into the Dotting Arrows straight. That was a nail biter, and if I was that Porsche, I would have been terrified. Condor Racing says, show us third place and first place. Well, if you want to see the Vides Portal team, here we have them. The BMW number 66 of Dmitro Tkachenko did come down pit road for a very quick splash and dash to make to the end. That was a 16-second pit stop, not what Justin French wanted, but it was what he was looking for. A gain of around 40 seconds closes down the gap to 30 seconds from P3 to P4. Condor Racing says ideal weather. I think this has been pretty great weather for the race. No rain that I have seen so far. Temperature has been 34 degrees. Track conditions have been 27, and we've seen optimum grip since the very beginning. Close battle on track between Microslot DeBaz and the Hive Virtual Motorsports team. This will be a battle on track, taking us to the checkered flag that we called out earlier. And the RTG race team not having to return to garage as many times as the Hive Virtual Motorsports A team. 10 pit stops from Microslot DeBaz. And they will make it to the end on this stint timer, the return to garage team. Pepe Justice says P2 has to pit now, doesn't he? I believe he has already taken that quick pit stop. Yes, Dmitry Tkachenko took that 16-second pit stop. I wish I had the burnt peanuts, no Russian in the chat program to a hotkey right now, because he like screams, "No Russian in the chat!" I believe that's Russian, and it's in the chat. They are 36 minutes into the stint, so P2 do not need to pit anymore. That is correct, Lexi. They are damaged. They did not repair damage. The number 36, excuse me, the number 66 did not repair damage. So resulting in that very quick pit stop to splash and dash to make it to the end. Can I speak Ukrainian? Well, it doesn't roll off the tongue. No Ukrainian in the chat. So I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Excuse me. .369 under threat from the number 40. Imagine 11 hours and 55 minutes of racing all by your lonesome, getting through the pack battles, challenging forward for positions, getting through the pit stop strategies, doing the driver swaps. And in the last 5 minutes, you have Microslot DeBaz and the return to garage team, that Lexus, chasing you down with that monster V8. Whoa, and there's a move going into the chicane side by side as we enter the green hell. Condor asks, what's the best lap? That will be an 8:11. Pepe Team Justice asking, how many seconds between 24 and 66? 24 and 66, separated by 26 seconds on the racetrack currently. And Microslaw
Final lap now.
pulls out a huge gap on the HYVE Virtual Motorsports team, the Hive team. 2.7 seconds down, maybe just trying to bring it home in one piece. Through Foxhole, not gaining any traction there. This is the final lap of the race. You heard it there from Barney the Flagman. Lead across the line. This will be your resulting order, folks. Ilyana Ivanek and the VDES setups team have done a commanding job for the past grueling 12 hours. Lexi, that's one of the things about being a new sim racing team, is that unless you've done a 12-hour shakedown with your team, you're not going to find out what mistakes are available and what needs to be rectified. You can prepare as much as you want, but until you do your first 24 hours, I wish more teams would ask someone to mentor them for their first 24 hours. Side by side, the battle for 14th and 15th place. Two Beamers going wheel to wheel, coming down Donninghurst straight. And it would be Tiergarten's advantage for Ivan Ispuv. I myself have done at least 5 24-hour events. So, fairly experienced, know what I'm doing. Have a lot of just data, schedules, stint timers, trackers, things like that to help me get an advantage, to know when I need to pit stop. You're not going to get all that information by just doing 1 or 2 endurance races, but it's a great place to start. I wish more and more teams would ask people for a race engineer to help them get through their first couple of endurance events, get their toes wet, walk them through, help them get situated, and then kind of release them into the fray. I think more endurance teams would probably last if that were the case. I myself am a data person, Lexi, so I love watching data. I was always the person that stayed up for 24 hours straight during a 24-hour race and was a race engineer for everybody because I tracked so much data. And there is a spin, wait a second, for Ilyana Ivanek. Can we get a replay of what happened to the 847? Just loses the rear end, steps out into the grass, no harm, no foul, just losing out some time.
Okay, the leader is on the final lap now. Give it all you can.
But definitely a code brown there for Ilyana. And Zhao Ray has a long way to go, 100 seconds back currently. Zhenko has 30 seconds of damage. We're getting reported in chat. Can Justin French bring down a 24-second gap on one lap? I don't think so. It will be a steep ask unless Tukachenko has another incident as a result of the damage, but he's been running fairly well up until this point. I don't want to give him the commentator's curse. The second Videz portal machine into the podium spot. Coming through the carousel is Ilyana Ivanek currently. Not Tikachenko, it's Tukachenko. Wait, hold on. Tukachenko. I got it. I'm an expert. What is TKA? Taka. It's not Taka. Okay, copy that. It's Tukachenko. Taka. Tukachenko. I think I've nailed it. We don't need to work on this anymore. I've already got it. Back to the race, folks. If you want to take a tour around the Nürburgring, you can test your wheels and your metal. You can turn up and drive around the Nordschleife. It costs $25 a lap, $30 on the weekends, but be careful. If you break it, you buy it. So don't hit the barrier. $60 or 60 euros per meter for replacements. Call out charge of 150 euros. The supporting batons behind each one cost you 79 euros each. A 30-minute visit from the safety car is also going to cost you a whopping 82 euros. And all that, you can face a bill of 1,000 euros just for one little mistake, plus the recovery truck for another 300 euros. Coming through the final chicane for the final time, it will be Ivanek to cross the line in P1. The number 847 has beat the grueling mountain. The green hell has been dominated. Ilyana Ivanek in P1 for the inaugural event of the NLS Endurance Championship, and a drift through turn one to cross things out. Ilyana Ivanek is victorious here, and the Videz Setups team can come home very pleased with their result this evening. The positions gained for them will be nil, unfortunately, but the lineup will include Daniel Negatsev, Gregory Kaveller in that organization. Congratulations to the trio there. Dmitro Kachenko, Arthur Petrosian, and Artemy Savkin will round out the third place team. Where's the second place team gone on my leaderboard? Zhao Rei in P2, supported by Enrique Machado. And the Valkyra Performance Racing Team will cross the line in P2 to claim dominance over the Green Hell as well. Congratulations to Zhao Rui and the Valkyra Performance Organization. Dmitro Chikachenko will be the VDES portal pilot to bring it home this time around. I didn't say Chikachenko. I didn't say that. Whatever you typed, I didn't say. I said it right. I said it right. I said Chikachenko. I didn't say Titicaca either. I said Takachenko. We'll bring it home in third position for the VDES portal team. And are there any other battle on track we need to pay attention to, or are we just going to keep bullying the commentator tonight? Thank you, Pepe, for having my back. My goodness. Make a man feel welcome. Entrance to YouTube corner, out of the S curves. Tikachenko, bring it home. Whoa, has a big moment though on acceleration. Mounting the curbs, got a bit loose there. Ooh, a bit scary for Dmitro Tikachenko. The pilot of the 66 must be a little bit tired right now, as he has been in that machine for quite some time. I didn't say Tikachenko, it's Tikachenko. Dmitro Tikachenko to the line, but Justin French still challenging for it. Oh! Yellow flag for Microslot Dibaz though. Slow through this sector. Has a 6-second gap to the Hive Virtual Motorsports team, 369 behind. Drivers crossing the line now. The pilot of the 63, the 31, the 21, the 13, the 991, the 64, the 296, the 94, and the 50. All crossing the line and returning to the garage, but it's Dmitro Tikachenko who will claim P3 for the VDES portal team and dominance over the rest of the field by a whopping 10 seconds. Justin French was so close to getting that position, another lap, and he could have closed down the gap. Wow, Justin French almost on the podium for the JCA M4 team. Felix Zimmerman coming out of the small carousel. Jan Wacker crosses the line. Danielle Cataldo crosses the line. Jan Straka crosses the line. Number 63, I already said. I think we got Srinjay Das as well. In the number 94, the number 296 crosses the line. The 991, Cookie Roland going a little bit slowly down the Dottinger Hoe. Mustang go burr. Mustang make American noises. Number 85, Cookie Rollin, crossing the line, 11th place, just outside of the top 10. The Hive Virtual Motorsports into that top 10, as you can see on the left-hand side of your screen. We're waiting for Felix Zimmerman to cross the line next. And are we doing interviews? Let's see. Anybody's hanging out in the Discord. Let's see. If anybody wants to come down and do an interview from the piloted VDES setup team, please come down to the driver's room and I'll drag you in, or I'll come join you. Beautiful lineup of cars there. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Everybody, thank you very much for staying tuned. It's been a pleasure to be your host. I am Sagar Bakshi, a.k.a. The Real High, and we're going to close things out here. Everybody, have a wonderful night, and as always, make sure you stay safe out there. Bye-bye.